Welcome, everyone, to our 12th day of the 12 Laws of Healing, or the 12 Days of Healing Together. During these 12 days, we've been going through the 12 laws. Law number 11, pause and meditate before speaking or acting. We talked a little bit about why pausing and meditating would be good in the beginning of the relationship, giving ourselves a few months to really meditate on that relationship instead of feeling like we've got to go all in. Pausing and meditating before thinking and acting. That was yesterday. So today is law number 12, never allow emotions to guide your actions. Never allow emotions to guide your actions. This is a good time to tap the screen, and if you're not already following, make sure you're following so you can see when we're live and get all the great little updates when we start doing this. It's bittersweet. It's our last day together, but there's something good that comes out of this, which is the healing that you've done. You don't have to feel scattered or like you've got to learn all these little things, like how I was laughing at the, what was it called? The let them theory. In the healing space, everybody's got their different ideas, and it's like you got to learn what they're talking about over here and what they're talking about over there, and you don't have to do that. The 12 laws are comprehensive. They cover everything needed to heal from CPTSD, complex trauma, to heal from insecure attachment, whether that be avoidant attachment or otherwise. The 12 laws are comprehensive. It's enough. It's everything we need. So I invite you to get a copy of the Healing Journal. It's called the 12 Laws of Healing Journal. The 12 Laws of Healing Journal. It's available on Amazon. It's also, you can find the link on my website. You can do that on my page. Get a copy of the journal. I wrote the journal. I created it. I created it to help people get healed from CPTSD. Yes, I obviously get paid from book sales, right? But it's a few bucks if you buy the book, like my portion, right? Because I'm splitting it with Amazon. So like, it's not like my plan here is to go live and I think that I'm going to become rich by telling you to buy the book. So I need you to just kind of open your eyes and understand the book is actually created to help you, and it is there to help you. So buy the book for you. And a secondary reason can be that it supports my nonprofit, which is dedicated to helping trauma survivors worldwide. So again, the book is called The 12 Laws of Healing Journal, and it's available on Amazon. So today is law number 12. The good part about having healed together for 12 days is that you're in less pain now. You're feeling more clear, more centered on your purpose, less obsessive, less out of control, less anxious, less depressed. If you've been listening to all the days and applying what we're talking about, you found it's been invaluable to your healing, because we are touching on the laws of healing. These are the 12 laws of healing. And like I said, it's comprehensive for everything you need to go through a trauma in your life without remaining traumatized. And that's what a resilient person has the ability to do. They experience trauma just like you or I might experience it, but they don't become traumatized. The thing about staying or remaining in a traumatized state is that we increase our own trauma. After being discarded, dumped, ghosted, blocked by an avoidant, the traumatized responses make your situation worse. Traumatized response, example number one, I can't trust anyone now. That makes your situation worse. Now you can't find the person for you because you decided to give up on all persons because you had a bad experience with one. It's traumatized. It's not well thought out. It's not a good life strategy. A traumatized response number two, I can't trust myself anymore. I don't know how to keep myself safe. I'm stupid. I am to blame for what happened. That doesn't work for you either, because you are the person who has to make your decisions, all of them, moving forward, as you always have. Really, you have more basis now than ever to trust yourself because of what you've experienced. You can become wise through your experience. It doesn't work for you to stop trusting yourself. It's a traumatized response. Traumatized response number three, chasing. If you leave me, can you take me with you? This is where we get into self-abandonment. Essentially, it's self-abandonment. If you leave me, can you take me with you? That's how many of us feel when our partner leaves. We're like, I don't want to be here alone. Take me too. But if you go with them, then you're abandoning yourself too. Recognize that chasing after a partner is a traumatized response. It's understandable that you might feel that way, but you're focusing on something you cannot control. And you can't control what a person does. You have to value their freedom to set a boundary, to move, to get away from you, right? They have the freedom to do that, and you should value it. When you start chasing after them, you're having to inevitably abandon yourself. You're not focusing now on your eating. You're not focusing on your sleeping. That's when you have people say, I can't eat, I can't sleep. It's because mentally or otherwise you're still chasing the person. You haven't let them go. When you allow them to go, when you let them go, then you're here and you have you. And you're not saying, well, take me with you. You're saying, oh, they left. Me and me as a person. And then inevitably, your instinct will be to care for yourself. The untraumatized thing to do is to care for yourself the way you would care for a child that you love. Feed it, cherish it, compliment it, soothe it, build it up, and get it ready for the next challenge in life. We really shouldn't pour ourselves in 100% into a relationship that's too new. If it's only been weeks, maybe a couple months, check yourself. You don't know the person, so you can't be in love with the person. You're in an infatuation. This is a fantasy for you. And that's just how an avoidant and a narcissist wants it. So check yourself. So now we're learning the skills over these 12 days together to be resilient, to be able to endure a trauma, a trial, and to be able to come out of it still ourselves or better than ever. Not just going through the trial, but growing through it now. Law number 12 is never allow emotions to guide your speech and your behavior. It's impulsive to chase them, to stalk them, to keep texting them more than 1 or 2 times in a row, to keep calling them. Your emotions are running the show, and that needs to stop. For all trauma survivors, they all have this one thing in common. They are following their emotions. If you're an unhealed trauma survivor, you are following your emotions. It's one very simple switch that you have to change in your life, and it will literally change your life. Have you ever self-sabotaged? Put a 1 in the chat if you have self-sabotaged. Throw a 1 in the chat if you have self-sabotaged. You know, you could have done something well. You could have done something right, but you did the opposite of the thing you should have done to do it right. and then you messed up something in your life. Give us some examples of things you've self-sabotaged. Maybe a job, maybe a relationship. Self-sabotage is a trauma response. Did you know that? It's another symptom of CPTSD. Self-sabotagers all have one basic thing in common. And I would like to know if anyone here knows what that is. Self-sabotagers have one basic thing in common. Someone said their career. Someone said studying for midterms. Someone said relationship, getting into trouble early. Yeah, self-sabotagers have one basic thing in common. What we are truly when you take all the trauma away. Save your question for after. Save your question for after we talk about law number 12. Ooh, Free from Trauma knows the answer to the question. Holy smokes. Did you learn that from me, Free from Trauma? Where'd you learn that? Free from Trauma. Where'd you learn that? Did you get that from me? In my work with self-sabotage, I've uncovered something groundbreaking in psychology, like all the things that I've uncovered in psychology. And the discovery with self-sabotage is that all self-sabotage comes from following the emotions, just following the feelings. All self-sabotage comes from following the emotions. When you think back to when you sabotage your job, sabotage an opportunity, sabotage a relationship, sabotage a connection, the thing that you did was you followed the feelings instead of following the plan, plain and simple. You look back later and you go, why did I do that? Why didn't I do what I knew I should have done? And you didn't do what you would have, could have, or should have done because you weren't focused as much on the plan. You knew about it, but it didn't feel like what you wanted to do. There was a strong force inside of you that was telling you, eat the Cheez Whiz, sabotage the diet, and eat the cake. Another one now. Another handful of Ruffles. There was a strong feeling inside of you that was saying, run away from them, ghost them, block them without saying anything. There was a strong feeling inside you that said, a little bit more sleep, a little bit more slumber, then you'll feel better. Don't worry. Don't get up right now. Take a rest. Take a break. You need more time. Keep scrolling social media. Just one more video. One more video. Feelings, feelings, feelings. We were chasing the dopamine. We were chasing the serotonin. We were chasing some oxytocin. We just wanted to feel good. Or we felt fear. We felt bad. And so we followed that. And it led us to the path of everything we feared, of the worst possible thing that could have happened, and we sabotaged. We go, I know he must be cheating, so I'm going to leave him. Huh? You haven't thought it out. If you think it out, you want to wait until you know that he is cheating, not that you feel that he might be. Right? You want to make sure your feelings break down to actual facts. Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. So, have you recognized how you're sabotaging yourself? Anger, fear, jealousy, sadness, shame, those are emotional states. The emotions are real, but they are not always right. They are not always beneficial. And if we let them drive our behavior, they will cause damage. What should we be following, by the way? Does anyone know? Instead of emotions, what should we be following? Law number 12 is never allow your emotions to guide your speech and your behavior. So if we never follow our emotions, what should we be following? Logic, facts, reality, purpose. There we go, Laura. Nailed it. Yeah. Logic is correct, facts is correct, but we should be following something. Now, you should be following your purpose, which involves love. It's a goal that you set out of love, and your plan. Your purpose is your plan, your goal, your project that you created out of love. So when you're laying in bed and you should get up, you must see the very clear split that is happening. I can go according to my feelings, which is to continue to lay here, even though my alarm has gone off, or I can go according to my purpose, which is to move forward and secure this position. That would be a part of my purpose, to move forward and secure this position, to make sure I show up consistently for this job. That's the difference right there between self-sabotage and living a life of efficient, beneficial decisions. Self-control. Being able to see that purpose is what you should choose every time, despite the feelings. So you have to then go against the emotions, go against the feelings. So when people give well-intentioned advice, like, you got to follow your gut, you got to follow your intuition, you got to follow your heart, whatever feels right, they are wrong. They are wrong. They are wrong. They mean well, but they are wrong. Majority of the time, we are not in a life or death situation, so we should not be following intuitions, guts, feelings, emotions. No. You should not be following that. You can feel it. You can have it. You can listen to what it's telling you. If I'm laying in bed, my feeling at that moment to stay laying in bed is just telling me that my body's tired. It wants more sleep. It's enjoying this. And generally, it doesn't like to transition because it happens when I get home and I just sit in the car, in the driveway or in the garage, and I don't want to get out of the car and 5 and 10 minutes are going by. The body doesn't like to transition sometimes. Follow the purpose, not the feelings. If there's no conflict with the purpose, then sometimes we can give our feelings a break, right? So for instance, in the situation I named, when I go and I'm just sitting in my garage, there's no conflict immediately with my purpose. I don't need to get in the house right away. So maybe I do take some time and relax, right? Once it's your free time, you say, I'm going to give my feelings an opportunity to do what they want to do. So maybe I will scroll on social media for a little while, watch some television for a little while. That's fine. When you're extreme and you go, no, I never follow my feelings, I never take a break, you create a rubber band effect. A rubber band effect where all the pulling causes a snap. And that's why I never encourage you to be extreme with diets, with setting rigid rules for your life. You need to be reasonable, like a loving parent. Sure, we can do fun time as well. That's how you have to treat yourself, like a child. Okay, are you ready? Let's get your little teddy bear. Let's snuggle up in the blankets. Treat yourself good, like a child. But even with a kid, you're like, okay, now it's time to do homework. Got to participate in chores. Let's do the dishes. You tell the child, we got to do some things that you don't want to do sometimes. Make sense? So we have to rule ourselves according to the conscious mind. And the conscious mind, you have to reason and stay fixed on your ability to go against your feelings. It's something you should practice. You have the ability to go against your feelings. I'll repeat that again. It's so important. You have the ability to go against your feelings. Just because you want to punch someone doesn't mean you actually have to. If that were the case, it'd be an easy way to get out of going to jail, right? Well, Your Honor, I felt like I wanted to rob a bank. Your feelings told you to rob a bank? Well, then we certainly can't put you in jail. How could you have resisted your feelings? Make sense? That's not the world we live in. There are consequences for our actions because ultimately we are in control of our actions. We are in control of what we do. So focus on your ability to control your actions, not the feeling you have inside. It is not a majestic, mystical, divine force that is guiding you and telling you what's right. Again, your feelings are not a majestic, mystical, divine force guiding you and telling you what's right. Your feelings are a cocktail of chemicals, hormones, and electrical impulses in the brain processed with your perception of matters. The feelings are hormones in your body. They're chemicals. That's why it feels like, whoa, like someone gave you a shot of something. That's how you would feel. That's what's happening. Your brain is drip dropping, subconscious mind's drip dropping hormones into your system, and you feel, whoa, adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine, that feels good. That's the feelings. It's just hormones, just chemicals. Don't overthink it into the woo-woo. Oh, I think this is my divine God. My ancestors are telling me. No, you will be lost your entire life. This is the gift. The gift is the ability to feel the feelings, but say, despite what I feel, I'm going to do this because this aligns with my purpose, what will be beneficial. What's beneficial is love. So then everything I'm doing is guided by love. Principled love, not emotional love. Well, I don't feel love for my husband right now. Yeah, great. That's don't be guided by your feelings. Should you maintain a steady principled love for your husband? Yes. Yes. Just like a man needs to maintain a steady principled love for his wife. It should not be based on his emotions. You understand? So when I say don't be guided by the feelings, we are following not some internal magical force, which is really just your chemicals. We are following the purpose, which is your plan, your goals, your project that you've already predetermined. You've already decided what you were going to be and what you were going to do with your life. Now you know to guide everything. Remember that law, everything must align with your purpose. Now you know to guide everything along that purpose. And that takes analytical thinking. And that's what you're doing with your cerebral cortex, which takes pausing, which was our last law, law number 11, always pause and think, right? So now we understand, wow, in everything I do, I should pause and I should meditate. And you start seeing how the laws come together. And then I should act never in fear, always in love, which is one of the laws. And I should do what aligns with my purpose, which is one of the laws. And I should cut off what is toxic, which is one of the laws. And I should move towards what's beneficial for me and focus on what's beneficial for me, which is one of the laws. And focus on what I have, which is one of the laws. You understand? And it all comes together in a split second, in a moment. And then you move forward based on love, which is the focus on everything that is beneficial for you. All of it really is encapsulated in what true love is. No, not a feeling. You will be lost. You will be lost. You will leave your husband in 5 minutes. If you think that love is a feeling, you'll be like, oh, I don't feel it today. Time to leave. Hormones fluctuate. Hormones change. Feelings change. Feelings of oxytocin, which people are like, oh, I feel in love right now. Yeah, that's going to fluctuate. You realize that. In one day, if you've ever been married or in a deep relationship, you can literally hate the person that morning and then that night be like all cuddled up watching a movie. Like, I love this person. I'm going to be with them forever. Feelings fluctuate. You cannot follow the feelings. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't leave because your feelings tell you to leave the relationship. You leave because you analyze that it's aligned with your purpose, that it's true love for yourself and perhaps for others. to get away from what is toxic and not surrender to fear, and to do what is beneficial and what is aligned, right? You see how it all comes together. All the laws come together when you apply them and not follow the emotions, but take time to pause and meditate before acting or speaking. So let's keep that in mind. If you're just joining us, we're on law number 12. This is our final day of meeting together. So fitting that more of us are here than normal. We're looking at law number 12. Never allow emotions to guide your speech and your behavior. So if you lash out because you felt disrespected, is that emotion guided or purpose driven? That would be your emotions. If you stayed silent and calm, even though you felt furious inside, would that be emotion driven or purpose driven? Now you're acting according to your purpose. If you told them off in the moment because you felt offended, was that reaction driven, emotion driven, or purpose driven? Likely emotion driven, right? If you chose to walk away because you value peace, was that emotion driven or action driven? Purpose driven. Emotion driven or purpose driven? You chose to walk away because you value peace. Likely that's being driven according to your purpose, your love for yourself. You cursed them out because it made you feel, to try to make them feel what you felt. You cursed them out to try to make them feel what you felt. Is that emotion driven or is that purpose driven? Is that emotion driven or is that purpose driven? That again is emotion driven, right? So remember, we pause. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. STOP. Stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. That's what helps us to not act according to the emotions. So some people are wondering, how do I do this? How do I just not act according to my emotions? Your emotions are important. If you want to know, I don't know if anyone's paying attention right now, but if you really want to know on a deeper level what the value of the emotions are, they're allowing you to experience this 3D world to tether your soul to it, if you will. It's an experiential thing. Specifically, your emotions are your perception of how your reality aligns with your values. You can write that down to try to piece it apart and pick it apart to figure out what that means. Your emotions are your perception of how reality aligns with your values. Your emotions are your perception. It's how you're viewing something in your subconscious mind aligning with your values. Because sometimes you perceive that something is out of alignment with your values subconsciously, and you immediately receive negative or punishing chemicals. That's where the bad feelings come from. It's your subconscious perceiving that something's out of alignment with your values. If your subconscious perceives that something is aligned with your values, then it will give you the good feelings, what we call the good chemicals or emotions, right? That's what emotions actually are. Should you follow that as your one and only guide in life? If you think about it, the answer is no, because your subconscious mind perceptions are automatic. That's why you feel like you can't control the emotions, because you're not controlling it. Your AI is. Your AI, by the way, guys, is your subconscious mind. You're not controlling that. Your subconscious mind is every second of every moment taking in perception. Your subconscious mind is even perceiving what I'm talking about right now. And if it's aligning with your values, it's giving you good chemicals. And if it feels like it's out of alignment with your values, if it's a violation of your values, it's giving you negative feelings, negative sensations. That's all it is. So understanding that your emotions are a communication from an AI assistant can help you to realize you're not supposed to be following these things. You're supposed to listen. It's an assistant. You pay attention to an assistant. If my assistant was right here and she tapped me on the shoulder and said, Sir, I just want to tell you something. I'm going to listen, right? But I'm not going to obey. There's a difference. When your assistant talks to you and they tell you something, you listen, but you don't go, well, you're the king of my life, and then just do whatever your assistant tells you to do, right? If we utilize an AI chatbot, it's the same thing, right? You use it as an assistant. You don't go, guide me, AI, guide me, oh great computer. That would be foolish. Don't do that. It's an assistant. It's there to help you. You've got questions. They go get you the answers. That's what the assistant's for. Hey, tell me this, tell me that, right? So your AI is constantly just taking in information around you through your eyeballs, through your imagination, whatever it's perceiving is real. That's why you feel real emotions during dreams. It's not real scenarios, it's real emotions. So when you get up and punch your husband because he cheated in your dream, that's useless because the scenario wasn't real. The emotion was real, and that's why you feel like it's real. And so when you come from the school of thought, like the emotions are real, so it must be real. No, the emotions are just an AI communication to you. They're just saying, hey, I perceive something was out of alignment with our values. That's all. You don't follow it. You listen to it. You go, oh, interesting. And then you have a conversation with your subconscious about it. The proper way to respond to emotions is to say, oh, I appreciate where you're coming from with that. Yeah, you're right. What are the values that are being violated here? Oh, when she left me without communicating, that violated my sense of loyalty. It violated my desire to be trusted. It violated some principles that I feel are very important, like my ability to provide and to protect. Have a conversation with yourself. I see now why I feel so bad, because my values were violated in the perception of my subconscious. So we have to then work on our perception so that we can alter the emotional state. Do you see how I would then be taking control instead of just obeying the emotions? The low-level thinking that a lot of humans are operating on is, I feel an emotion, which is, oh, my girl left me, so I feel, what is this? And then they go with anger, sadness. If you just let that guide you, where is that going to go? Anger leads me to what? Go punch her new boyfriend? Go destroy her car? Go try to kidnap her back? Nothing good. Anything good that I might want to do, it's all self-sabotage if I follow the emotions. If I instead go with, a sadness. What's sadness gonna guide me to do? Oh, great sadness, I will follow you. My emotions are so important, I must allow them to guide my life. That's dumb. You're following an AI. So your sadness will lead you to losing weight or gaining weight, not going to the gym, not maxing your looks, not doing your skincare, not taking care of your hair, not getting any other girls. Excuse me. Therefore, not looking attractive to your mate, not attracting them back, not attracting any new people. Your genes get weeded out of existence because you were sad. You understand? Like, it's not. Don't follow your feelings is the point. The feelings will lead to self-sabotage, and all self-sabotage is from following the feelings. Does it make sense, folks? Just let me know if it's making sense. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a 1 in the chat. Say yes. Let me know that like this stuff's making sense, because I'm using a lot of complicated terms. Make sure you guys understand. Yeah, people are having a lot of trouble with this. He's not saying don't feel your emotions. Comprehension is important. Oh my goodness, who here is stuck thinking that I'm saying that you're not supposed to feel your emotions? Listen carefully, guys. Listen carefully. Whenever I follow my emotions, it leads me to self-sabotage. Exactly. And whenever you're self-sabotage is because you were following your emotions. Exactly. Imagine this. Let me use an example to help you understand how to organize emotions in terms of should you follow them and should you express them in all this. The emotions are so important. Listen, if there's a boardroom meeting and you are the CEO of the boardroom meeting, right? And then you have an assistant, you have advisors, and they advise you. Who is the boss? Who makes the final decision, the final call on what needs to be done? If you are the CEO of a company and you're in the board meeting, your advisors are the first to give you the information. They tell you information. Who makes the decision? The advisors have the information. So are the advisors important? Correct. You make the decision as a CEO. You make the decision as CEO. The advisors have information. Are they important? Are the advisors important? Yes, the advisors are important. Should you listen to the advisors in terms of hearing them out? Yes, we should listen to the advisors in terms of hearing them out, right? But despite everything everyone said, and by the way, there may be some conflicting reports from the advisors or conflicting advice, you're going to make the final decision. That's how you organize yourself versus your feelings. Your feelings are advisors. You got fear. You got anger over there in the corner. You got self-consciousness over there in that corner over here. You got shame over here. You got a feeling over here of sadness. You got a feeling over here of addiction to dopamine. You got a lot of different feelings going on, right? So who are you going to obey? You have to make the decision as the conscious self in the cerebral cortex, the wisest part of you that processes all of the information. Can you listen to the feelings? Sure, let's hear you out. Let's hear you out. Why do you feel ashamed right now? Okay, interesting. And for you, why this? But then sometimes you got to argue back at certain ones. And you go, you know what, self-consciousness, it's not right for you to feel self-conscious. I understand what you're saying, but that's not really the best way to guide us right now with the self-consciousness, because you're too worried about what other people are thinking. So we're not going to do that. What do you have to say over here, sadness? Oh, that we're just not motivated to do anything? Well, that will lead us to getting and gaining nothing. So I appreciate that. But no, we're not going to do that either. What are you saying over here, addiction to dopamine? That we should just scroll on TikTok? That we should go on a shopping spree? Okay, well, that's going to be very costly to us for our time and our money. Thank you for that. I'll keep that in consideration. I'll tell you what we'll do for you. If we do something good, later we're going to get to doing some of the things that you want to do. You understand? You're organizing it like a CEO. Some of you haven't been in leadership positions enough in life, so that's why you have trouble leading yourself. Step up. You can't avoid the reality that you have to learn leadership. You can't avoid it. It's a life skill. You're going to end up having to babysit some kids, watch some children, be a leader somewhere at some time. It's unavoidable. So you need leadership skills. A good leader listens to the advisors, analyzes the data, makes a decision that's mutually beneficial to the best of their ability, and lives with the consequences of their decisions. It's just that simple. Are you going to get it right every time? No. You're going to live with the consequences of your decision. Now, does everyone understand? Or did those people who didn't understand just like leave? So we understand what to do with the emotions. It's not about, oh, you didn't feel them. They're not. Are they important? Yeah, they're important, but they're not the boss. Making sense? It's all in the book. Yeah, there's 2 books out: Mind by Roman Zenoni. That's the deeper read, or you got the workbook, which is the first thing you should probably pick up so you can just start healing. The workbook is the 12 Laws of Healing journal. So instead of blocking someone because you felt rejected, pause, meditate. Cerebral cortex says, well, I do feel rejected, but I'm going to leave the lines of communication open in case there's some necessary business that comes up. And, or maybe they will change their mind. Or maybe they don't mean it like that. Instead of saying, well, I was overwhelmed, so I'm just going to quit everything. No. Cerebral cortex analyzes, says, I feel you overwhelmed. And instead of following the feelings here, I think we're going to make a list of everything we're thinking about. And then organize that list so we're not feeling so overwhelmed by it. Instead of trying to make someone else feel bad because they made us feel bad, you go, I'm not going to follow the feelings on that one. I don't want to become a part of the destruction of the universe or my relationship. I think instead I'll analyze things from a three-pronged perspective. Boy, bird's eye view, the other person's perspective, your own perspective. When I look at these different perspectives, I see that it's not really always all about me. So even though they did make me feel hurt, it might not even been intentional. So maybe I shouldn't play judge, jury, and executioner, but instead I should just chill or assert a boundary and talk to them. Be assertive, tell them the truth. I think I'll do that. I'll try assertiveness without trying to hurt them. You can just talk to a person about what they did rather than try to make them feel the pain. Because if they have empathy, as soon as you tell them you have pain, they already get pain. If they don't have empathy, you shouldn't be with them. Plain and simple. Excuse me. You run away because you feel embarrassed. Pause. Think. Don't sabotage my entire life because of a feeling. I hear you, embarrassment. I feel where you're coming from. But I think instead of running away, I'm going to stand here and just sit in it. Gangster. I'm just going to sit here, tough, strong, and allow myself to experience it and to get through it, because in the end, these people don't pay my bills and I shouldn't worry about what they think of me. Does that make sense? Now we're cooking with oil because we are no longer following the feelings. We're no longer allowing the emotions to guide us. We are making determinations, choosing to do what will be good for us rather than following a strong emotion. We're searching for confirmation, which is the evidence that shows that our path is going to be beneficial for us. And we're choosing what's beneficial every time. That's choosing according to love. That's choosing according to love. Emotions are a communication from your subconscious mind. If your subconscious mind perceives that something in your reality aligns with your values, it will give you pleasant emotional sensations. If your subconscious perceives that something in your reality violates your values, it will give you unpleasant emotional sensations. It is just a communication. It is not there to be your guide. It is not Jiminy Cricket. It is not Mufasa in the sky guiding you. It's just an AI perception. The AI has control over the chemicals, so you have to feed it the perceptions that will be beneficial. So what you can do to change your feelings is change your perceptions. Sometimes you can change the actual reality, but when it comes to a relationship, it's not possible. You can't make them come back. So you have to understand there's other things you can do. Because your mind goes, I got to get them back. I got to get them back. I got to ask them. I got to ask them. I got to get their opinion. I got to hear their voice. I got to tell them what I feel. No. It's they're on the outside. I can't control them. So I need to change something else. You can change your values. You can convince yourself that you don't value them anymore. Devaluation list. And all of a sudden you feel better. Or you can change your perception. Also devaluation list, because you start realizing they don't even qualify, and all of a sudden you feel better. This is how I'm teaching you to hack the system. This is how I'm teaching you to hack the system. Someone said it's not artificial. I would argue it's not AI. Yeah, you don't repress your emotions. Emotions are meant to be felt. Did you not understand anything about the CEO illustration? I thought I made that very clear. The reason why I would compare your subconscious to an AI is because it itself has like that sentience, but it itself is not a conscious being. Your subconscious is not a conscious being, but it's intelligent. So therefore, it's an intelligence. It's like an artificial intelligence. Very much like when we talk to a chatbot, it's not a conscious being, but it's intelligent and it feels sentient, right? That's why I call it an AI. Emotions are a gift. Did I say they're not? Did you understand AD? Did you understand anything I said about the CEO? Can you explain to us the illustration of the CEO? Or are you just going to keep pushing your own personal beliefs that are not helpful for trauma survivors to heal? If you follow your emotions, do you understand that that will lead to self-sabotage, AD? Do you understand that if you follow your emotions, that will lead to self-sabotage, AD? AD's following her emotions right now, and it's going to get her muted. Oh my God. AD, I need you to learn to utilize the ears. There's 2 of them. And process. I want you to really process what I'm talking about here. I really want you to process what we're talking about here. I'm trying to make it understandable. Is there anyone else who doesn't understand how to manage emotions versus guiding yourself? Miss the pause and think before acting. Yeah, miss the pause and think. Yeah. She's trying to this is important it's so essential for our healing. When we get into the worship of emotions, they're good, they're everything, they guide us, they tell us, they're secret. We lose. We will sabotage our lives. Gretch says, so emotions are bits of information I can use to make a logical decision. Yeah, they're pieces of information. They're pieces of information. They're real, but they're not to be trusted. They're your advisors. You listen to them, but you can't go with everything they're saying. It's like, yeah, I'll hear you out. Let's see what you got here. But you can't go with everything they're saying. They want what they want. The heart wants what it wants, but it's not always good for you. It's not always good for you. Part of me wants to help the avoidant, but I know I can't. Me too. So we got to turn our attention to who we want to help. To who wants our help. I'm sorry. I misspoke. We have to turn our attention to who wants our help. You guys can go ahead and start asking questions and sharing your comments now, and I will try to get to them. Feminista, I'm trying to translate your comment here. I feel like I'm running out of which, or rather, it's always broken. How difficult. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. What about using emotions to make a good choice? Give me an example of where emotions would guide you to a good choice. You don't follow the emotions. I like you saying use the emotions because that's putting you in control. I like that. But you don't follow the emotions. But if you have an example, give me an example of what you mean. We have multiple senses and we use them in combination. They are tools like emotions. Very good. Very true. Best to let emotions settle before taking any action. Ideally, and that's the benefit of learning to pause. Yeah. This is a different way of saying the same thing. I'm saying it from a different angle. I'm saying just don't let the emotions guide you. It's not about the time, period. I can be in very high emotions and still just not let it guide me. So it's not about it settling. It's about the fact that I don't follow it. I'm stronger than the emotion. So I could get really, really angry and still do nothing. And that's important for us to learn. You don't give control of your conscious over to your actions, over to a feeling. You are the driver, correct? Reframe in the moment to be able to absorb. I'm very happy that you guys are understanding this concept. I appreciate that a lot. It's helpful, especially when I had someone. Emotions are good. Emotions are good, sweetheart. I want to help. I'm feeling I'm failing her. I have a feeling that I'm failing her. What do you do when you're overcome with anger over injustice for someone else, and how to do it? So when the anger is about injustice for someone else, you have to back your perception up to realize I'm not God. Therefore, I can't right all the wrongs in the universe. It's not necessarily my job to fix the injustice that this person is going through. So let me take inventory first and recognize my own limitations and recognize that injustice is an expected part of the universe that I live in. And while I can have empathy for the situation, and sometimes there are things I can do to assist, my anger beyond the point of the action is not going to be helpful for me to be harboring over the injustice. Sometimes we feel like in our heart we're making it better by being angry. No, it's not making it better. It's not making it better. Use the anger to do something. If you got nothing to do, don't use the anger right now. Put it in your back pocket. Turn my attention to who wants my help. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for hearing that. Rebound relationships work in a BPD person. No relationship works for a BPD person, generally speaking. There's always exceptions, but the BPD person needs to heal, generally speaking. Emotions and feelings are driving me to break no contact after she broke up with me. What do I do? Do your devaluation list. Do your devaluation list. That will help you get more in control. Take your time. Write your note that you would write to them, like you're drafting a text, but don't send it. Put it in a notepad instead. Don't draft it in the thing where you accidentally send it. Draft it in a notepad. Draft an email. Draft things. And then wait a day or two. Go back and read them. And sometimes you'll realize, wow, I was really following the emotions because I don't want to say that anymore. Very helpful. Without my emotions, they guided me and they were not reliable. My guide was always broken then. Exactly. Yeah, I see what you're trying to say. Yeah. Your guide was broken. Yeah. We learned a lot of times in trauma, because you grew up in complex trauma, you learn to follow your emotions, and that it may have protected you at times, right? That's why a lot of people get really caught up on this intuition thing. They're like, well, it protected me. It protected me. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Like if you feel fear and then you follow the fear and the fear gets you to safety and then you find out that guy was a monster, it's good, right? It can protect you. Just that's why there are advisors in the room, because they have benefit, right? But it's getting to learn now not to just use that and default to that for everything, because it's not going to work for everything. Is you'll be in an interview and your intuition or your fear will come up and tell you, this job isn't safe, you're gonna fail, or something like that, and then you leave and you don't take the job. It can sabotage you if you don't learn to reason past the strong feelings. Someone says you can't accomplish something, you prove them wrong. Yeah, don't worry about them, though. Don't worry about what they said. You just do what's according to your purpose. I follow my emotions after 10 years with a narcissist addict. I'm destroying my heart witch link. Learning to pause like that. I just want to say thank you for your knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate you. I use for private session. Yes. Which link I use for private session? Maybe that's what you're trying to ask. On my website, it should be pretty clear how to book a session with me. With just a very little bit of clicking around, you should be able to find something that says book a session. Try the menu or just try to scroll down to see the options. There's only about 5 or 6 options there. Book a session is one of them. How do you separate emotions driving by trauma and healthy emotions from healing from trauma? It's not about separating healthy emotions from unhealthy emotions. That's not what it's about. It's about analyzing every single situation before you make a decision, before you take an action. You analyze it and you decide not according to the emotion. Whether it's healthy or unhealthy is irrelevant. You don't decide according to the emotions, ever. You decide according to your cerebral cortex. Wow, I lost the word. That was so weird. in your conscious mind what will be best, taking the emotions into consideration. Oh, okay, I'm stronger than the alarms blaring. I can tune them out and pause. Yes, you can have the alarms blaring, yep, and you can keep your body still and just blink and breathe. Every human has that ability. If we didn't, then there would be no point on having jails for people who do things out of emotion. Are emotions the same as gut feelings? Yes. I'm categorizing and grouping all of that together. What if one is fight or flight, dysregulated nervous system? Gut feelings, fight and flight, and intuition should be used in actual life or death emergencies. Then you should use those. But most of your decisions day to day are not actual life or death emergencies. When you feel disrespected, is that your job to heal yourself or set boundaries for the other person? Both. Sometimes you have too much of a sensitivity that needs to be healed within you. And sometimes you need to set a boundary and let the other person know how you would like to be treated. Instead of focusing on the disrespect, focus on the specific treatment that you don't like. Focus on the specific treatment that you don't like. And then tell them, hey, I don't like when you do this and this. Can you please not do that? Don't say, can you not disrespect me? That's nebulous. Like, what does that even mean? Because they might not feel that way in their heart. Sorry, my throat hasn't been the best the past few days. Stop minimizing women, ... sweetheart. I'm not minimizing women, baby. I'm maximizing them. Maximizing and elevating. Empowering with knowledge. There's nothing more important than knowledge in terms of what makes you powerful. Knowledge empowers. The light bill and the mortgage should guide you. No. They definitely should not. How to protect myself from mental abuse, sabotage, and gaslighting by an ex I share a living space with. Stop sharing a living space with them because they're an abuser. Never listen to anything they say. Cut off all contact, all communication outside of absolute necessary business. So you can communicate about rent, but you don't talk about anything else. That's not necessary business. Record everything so you can go back and listen to it. And that will protect you from gaslighting and mental abuse. Record everything. Have your phone recording at all times that you're in the house or in the vicinity. And get out of there as soon as possible. Maybe you need to embrace the alarms. Maybe they're warning from you. Yeah, maybe you weren't here when I explained exactly what the alarms are warning you of. I explained it twice today. Maybe you're not comprehending, or maybe you just came late. I don't know. What's going on with his hands? No disrespect, I want to know. I don't know. Blink and breathe, if nothing else. That I can handle. Fire. Yes, for sure, you can get that. How do you know when E? I don't know what that means. Knowledge is power. Yes, thank you. How can I ground myself from spiraling, thinking all of last year was a lie after being discarded? Your perception is not being controlled. Control your perception. Saying all last year was a lie, you're feeding your subconscious a perception or a story that's detrimental to your universe. So your subconscious goes, oh, all last year was a lie? Dump the cortisol and adrenaline. And it's dumping all these chemicals and you're like, oh, I feel like I have to spiral. You understand? Change the perception. Some things last year were a lie. Some things the narcissist said or the avoidant said were a lie. Things they said were a lie. I wasn't a lie. My whole reality wasn't a lie. They just told me lies, or they just were being deceitful. Like, qualify it. When you bring it down, then your subconscious goes, oh, some things were a lie. Let's just do a little bit of cortisol. We don't need any adrenaline over here. And then just drip, drip. You get the right emotion, and then you go, oh, I feel stable, so there's no need for me to spiral and crash out right now. How do you realize when you've come out of a trauma bond with someone? You probably wouldn't need to ask that question. If you're not feeling an attachment to a detrimental person, then you're no longer in a trauma bond. The depth of growth I got from the wisdom you share, thank you so much. Hey, day 12, this is beautiful that we could share this together. I'm so happy I could share this information with you. I should do another series after this, maybe healing the avoidant or something like that. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions or requests for a series. How to deal with a dismissive person who rather leave than confront issues. You got to let them go. They leave, and there's not anything you can do to stop them from leaving. But you should recognize, you should go to your notes, grab your little pen, piece of paper. Does this person qualify according to my standards? Based on their tendency to leave rather than confront issues, is it possible to have a long, healthy relationship with a person who leaves rather than confronts issues? Oh, they don't qualify. They're off the list. I can't stop sharing a space I'm isolated. Don't say I can't. Don't say I can't. You can do anything. Don't say I can't. How to know when a man is not serious about me. Don't worry about if a man is serious about you. Worry about, does he treat me according to my standards and my boundaries? Does he treat me according to the standards I set? I have standards that I wrote down that I'm looking for in a man. And then I have boundaries. And does he respect those boundaries? That's what you look at. Not, is he serious? You can't read his mind and heart. My dismissive avoidant husband of 5 years packed and left after a disagreement. 3 weeks now. What should I do? There's nothing you can do about him. So you have to get your focus off of him and onto what you do control. So make a list, everything I do have and I do control, so you can get all of your focus there. Make a list of what you don't control, and then cross out everything on that list, because you're focused right now on what you don't control. Once you're focused back on what you do control, you'll realize there's some work that you need to do. Your husband just left. There's certain pieces of business you need to take care of that you can control, that you should be focusing on right now. And then do your devaluation list, because your husband is now toxic to you because of the moves that he just made. He's no longer a safe person. He's toxic for you. So do your devaluation list. What if someone is in crisis due to what's going on? How does one regulate their nervous system? You can't regulate another person's nervous system, but if you're the person who's in crisis, you pause and think before acting or speaking. Biblically speaking, what emotions are valid? The Bible warns against being controlled by them. The Bible lists certain emotions, like if you consider jealousy, strife, envy to be emotions, it lists those things as being unacceptable, as in you shouldn't cultivate them or be guided by them, obviously. And then it lists certain things as being things you should cultivate. So I would say, if you're a Bible person, focus on the fruit of the Spirit, which I believe is Galatians 5:22 or something like that. Love, joy, peace, kindness, mildness, goodness, faith, self-control. Focus on patience. Focus on those things, the fruits of the Spirit. I believe there's, what is that, 8 or 9 of them? 9 fruits of the Spirit. How can I finally let go of an abusive on and off dynamics? It's been silent for 3 weeks. How can I finally let go of an abusive on and off dynamic? It's been silent. How can I let go? You got to do your devaluation list, hon. You got to do your devaluation list. Once someone's abusive, they no longer qualify. It's an automatic disqualification. So there's nothing to let go. Like, you shouldn't be holding on to it already because it's abusive. It's like, oh, you're abusive. Done. Simple. How can I find help? Go to my website and book a session or enroll in Healing School. Get a free session. Healing anxious attachment. Never do anything out of fear. Always do everything out of love. Oh, you guys are talking about for the next series, Healing Anxious Attachment. Yeah, that's a good idea. Healing Avoidance. Another series, please. Yes, please do it. How to tell when a man is not serious about me. I already answered that question. Please do another session immediately, please. If you're talking about, I don't know what you mean, another series you're talking about, another series. It feels like a death removing yourself from a trauma bond. Not after you actually do it. When you're thinking about doing it, that's when it feels like a death because it's a perception that this person is important, but you're not doing your devaluation list is what you're showing me. If you devalue them, it doesn't feel like death. So do your devaluation list. I don't want to be available for him anymore. Should I delete him and disappear or simply ignore him? Very situation by situation basis, whether you need to delete or not. Analyze in your cerebral cortex. Take your time. Don't do something that you're going to have to go back and undo. So if you delete someone, it should be pretty much that you know for a very long time or forever you're going to keep them deleted, unless you're purposely using it temporarily. But it shouldn't be something that it's emotional or impulsive is my point, where you got to go back. Oh, I feel differently now. Don't do that. Think it out. Analyze for your situation. Is this what's going to keep you safe? Because there's a real danger involved. You know, if there's some kind of danger mentally, emotionally involved, then yeah, you got to block and delete certain people. But if there's not actually any danger, you know, and you're just trying to be like petty about it and it's just emotional, take your time before making that decision. Can we get a series on regulating emotions? It's a good idea. Although all that is in Inside Healing School already. But it's still a good idea. Thank you, Roman, for teaching. Your teachings have changed my life. You're welcome, Rosa. Thank you for saying so. The way you break down stuff makes perfect sense and the delivery is soothing. Yeah, I don't even think I can talk louder than this. As you see, I'm like coughing. Worry about how you treat yourself. Iva Erica. Okay. Appreciate your teaching. Thank you, Shelly. Absolutely. I'm not getting treated well at all. Yeah, if you recognize that, then it's a disqualification. Identify, I'm not being treated well. And then if there's a boundary that you can set because you feel like you can fix this, assert yourself, set the boundary. But if not, it's time to go. Roman, any help for sleeplessness? Yeah, stop putting so much emphasis and stress around the sleep. Boxing yourself into a schedule where I have to sleep this amount of hours between this time and this time. And if I don't, then I get stressed out because you can't sleep when you're stressed about sleep. It's something your body has to take. And so you can create the conditions for sleep and you can lay down. If you find yourself restless and not able to go to sleep, excuse me, you can use techniques. And if you type in my name, Sleep, Roman Zanoni, I'll show you some techniques on helping your body to regulate and your heart rate to slow down so that it's easier to fall asleep. Use the techniques. But in the end, if you're not able to get to sleep, or you find yourself waking up a lot, which is very, very normal, by the way, to wake up a lot, tell yourself that it's okay so you stay soothed. And just lay there. Say, I'm still getting rest. Even if I'm not sleeping, I'm still getting rest. And just relax your brain and choose to take rest, even though it's not as good in your mind as sleep. So you can still put yourself into a state of relaxation consciously by just laying there. And of course, ironically, if you do it properly, your body may take the sleep. But your sleeplessness is caused because you're not allowing yourself to feel safe. Your body keeps thinking that it's either overstimulated with something or probably in your case, over anxious. So it's not feeling safe. So it's not taking the sleep. So you have to be better at regulating. Jot method, and type my name in, Roman Zanoni, sleep, and you'll see techniques that you can use to put yourself to sleep. I don't have time to explain them right now because I'm going through a list of questions. I live with an addict. How would I know he is a narcissist? 100%, not just an addict. He left me in a lake alone. I'm going to just categorize an addict with an abuser and say it's kind of probably a deal breaker. You've already had a situation where you were left in a lake alone, whatever that means. So it doesn't sound good or especially safe, right? So this is not good for your safety. So you need to recognize the need to separate from what is toxic. An addict is a toxic person. So it's done. Oops. Iva Erica, if you're here, I'm just going to give you a warning right now. This is a safe space for healing. So just make sure you keep your comments upbuilding and encouraging. Thank you. Particularly anger, Ephesians 4:6, anxiety, Philippians, yeah. Yeah, anger is a no-go in the scriptures. A man given to anger, his soul certainly hates. Philippians 4:6 and 7 talking about anxiety, unacceptable for us to stay in a state of anxiety. It tells us exactly how to handle it using prayer and supplication. That's right. Yeah, those are good examples. Fear, mentioned many times in the Bible as being unacceptable. Don't stay in fear. We need to be of courage. Exactly. Yeah, very good. So learn to set those emotion boundaries. You're absolutely correct. You're honestly in the next level of emotional control. When you learn to set boundaries around certain emotions and you just don't do them. Don't do shame. Don't do fear. Don't do anger. Don't do anxiety. You just don't do them. Sounds crazy, but like literally, it'll change your life. So sorry about the coughing. It'll change your life. What if your adult child that is needy and in crisis but mentally abusive and won't get help? Your adult child is not your responsibility, ma'am. Kick them out. They're not your responsibility. They're an adult. Give them don't kick them out like in a cruel way. Give them a time frame that they need to be out on their own. If they're abusive, they got to go. After being mad and swam to shore himself only. Yeah, that doesn't sound very nice or safe. Are you a Christian? Isn't it obvious? Correct, even from the beginning with Cain and Abel, emotions got in the way. Following the emotions there became deadly. I'll give you that. Acquiescing is strong, happens almost involuntarily. That's fawn response, Jersey Love. You're in the fawn response. You got to get out of your trauma response and into the cerebral cortex. So same thing. It's pause, STOP, rule of 7 seconds. How long can it take to learn to apply these laws and principles? Learn it instantly. You're a genius. You're brilliant. You're made in the image of the divine. Learn it right now. Why Why delay what can be expedited? Just do it. Just do it right now. Change. Choose to change. Say, I choose to change. I am this now. I identify as this. This is what I am now. Vetting, yes. Healing anxious attachment, yes, please. Healing anxious attachment series. I gotta write that down. All right. Thank you, Roman. I think I got used to that connection. 5 years, not proud. Yeah, no worries. I don't know the devaluation list. Okay. You need to learn what a devaluation list is. If someone here can explain it to her, that would be amazing. He cheated for 2 years. I forgave him, asked him to have boundaries with women to rebuild trust. He couldn't hold boundaries with women. Yeah, so what do you think? It's a cutoff, right? Gotta now enforce the boundaries you asserted. Anxious attachment style series. The decision has been made. I came in after the list was given. How to fix my anxiety to not be triggered. Just look down at the comments. Somebody's going to explain a devaluation list for you. How do I fix my anxiety to not be triggered by upset people? You have to change your perspective of the situation. So somewhere in there, you're looking to the outside for your safety, it sounds like. And so you're triggered by someone being upset because you think that your safety comes from people not being upset. Other people's emotions are what you think you have to look to keep yourself safe. And that's just totally false. You're an adult now. The devaluation list was life-changing advice. I use it every day. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Hi, I just wanted to tell you that for your coffee, you could take some hot tea with lemon and honey. Okay, thank you for the advice. What about when you have a lot of nightmares when you sleep? Your nightmares are because your body is mirroring at nighttime the emotional state that you have during the daytime. So the problem is that you don't heal your anxiety during the daytime. So then when you go to bed at night, then you have nightmares. When you don't have anxiety during the daytime, then you don't have nightmares. So heal your anxiety. You can do that using the JOT method on my website. Go to YouTube. You can get it for free. The JOT method, J-O-T method. There's a video there, how to cure your anxiety in 15 minutes. I even pray I still have nightmares. Yeah, heal the anxiety, nightmares will go away. I am also dealing with a cough, feel better. Yeah, I was traveling, so I caught maybe like a viral strand, and then it got followed by like a lack of sleep for a couple days. So then that lowers the immune system. So then it was just like, it got me. I'm okay overall. I had a really sore throat like a day or two ago, or maybe just a day ago, but I got some stuff for it. And I'm in pretty good shape. I'm coming out of it, but this is like the back end of it. It feels like where I'm like coughing. I keep fighting my ex in my dreams. Yeah, the subject of the dreams is not that important, except that your brain is trying to know how to categorize certain unsolved relationships sometimes. I can make my girlfriend feel lived or safe, and now we are breaking up. Yes, sir. You cannot make your girlfriend feel anything. That's a common misconception. You can try to present the conditions for her, but you can't make her feel anything. If she decides her perception is that she's not safe, then there's nothing you can do about that. Let her go. Let her do what she wants to do. And focus on your purpose and your self-care. Do your devaluation list. Someone will explain here how to do the devaluation list. Why you single? Question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. Because the right woman has not DM'd me yet. How to heal the nervous system. pause and meditate before thinking and acting. The nervous system is not like a thing that's like sick. It's a thing that you need to manage and control constantly. So pausing and meditating is one of your biggest things. Breathing is one thing to keep it under control, and using all the tools that I'm giving you, which are perception control tools. If you control your perception, you control the nervous system. I'm sorry, Roman. I was asking if you were a Christian because I'm a new listener. Yeah, I don't. Whatever. I don't. A fond response. Thank you. I didn't have a name for it. Yeah, you're more than welcome. You don't have to apologize for. You asked me a question. I gave you my answer, sarcastic as it was. I can control a strong emotion or anger, but when I wait a minute or more, then I explode. You're exploding because you're not getting yourself out of the negative thinking pattern. STOP, what does the T stand for? You have to get out of the negative thought pattern. You're staying in the overthinking, which is underthinking, just staying negative. It's an endless list. Thank you, Roman. It's just me holding on to something that's been my emotional fixation point for too long. Yeah, you have to get out of ruminating on just that one perspective. The evaluation list is 8 things. Yes, thank you for writing that down. Laura Home, she wrote it down for you. Roman, can you please state what EPIC stands for each letter? Ethical, powerful, intelligent, compassionate. Love that you incorporate spirituality and psychology. There is no separation. It's intertwined with each other. I can't get it separated. I've never been able to. And that's why the accepting that they're intertwined is probably what makes me more effective than the average psychologist. Because if you're learning from an atheistic system that you have to try to keep them separated, you'll be way stunted in your growth. You can't help people as well. You're really stuck. The best psychiatrists and psychologists that are working with people, the best therapists, incorporate spirituality. They have to. You can't get around it. Some of them will use like Buddhism or something because it's like more acceptable than Christianity. They'll be like, well, Buddha says blah, blah, blah. Just because it's like more acceptable to the mainstream in the Western, right? Because it's like Christianity has that idea of like you're pushing something, you're being too pushy or something. I don't know. So there's an anti-Christian agenda in the educational system, but there's no way around it. You got to incorporate spirituality. It's just a part of it. Thank you for explaining the devaluation list, guys. Yeah, your vetting questions can be related to EPIC. Yeah, absolutely. But they need to be personal standards that you have. Like, you're wanting to get married. Do you want them to have children? Do you want them to want children? Things like that. Like, think about logistical things as well. Feel better, Roman. Yeah, I'm like in this weird space where I'm like trying to like keep going and like find a register I can talk at, but like it's painful at the same time. Not to make this like a pity fest here, but I'm like, I want to keep going. The spirit is eager, but the flesh is weak. I might have to just start whispering. I might have to try that. I hate when people talk too close to the microphone, but I might have to actually, now that we talk about this, I might have to give myself some self-love here. When I do devaluation, I get angry. I want to slap them 1,000,000 times. He had no mercy for my feelings. Who does a devaluation and then gets mad? That's a very funny response to doing a devaluation list. That's not the intended response. Don't get angry about it. The point of the devaluation list is for you to recognize that the person is not worth the time and the energy. You're about to get a lot of DMs. Okay. I was discarded by an avoidant. Should I delete photos for my own mental well-being? I'm done. It's really up to you. If you feel that when you look at the photos, it's triggering emotions that are negative and not beneficial to your healing, totally understandable that you remove or delete photos. Totally understandable. Sometimes you can just remove them and organize them to another folder, but deleting them is totally acceptable. Totally acceptable. I won't make a rule that you have to delete. It's different for everyone. But make sure you're not just keeping them around to keep re-traumatizing or like keeping like you're trying to keep a good feeling going where you don't ever allow yourself to move on. You have to detach from what is toxic. Sometimes that involves deleting the photos. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I'm coming with the comments. I'm going through one by one. So just as a reminder, don't feel the need to repeat the comment. Broke up with my ex to focus on myself, but I didn't communicate it properly. Maybe you can go back and communicate properly. And I just told him I didn't want to be with him. We haven't talked in 60 days. Yeah, that's an avoidant thing to do. I would advise going back, apologizing for the way it was communicated, trying to open up dialogue to just communicate what's really going on with you. Even though you're not planning on getting back right now, and get one-on-one sessions with me to heal the avoidant attachment fast. Try to act in a way that's loving for you and the other person, not just following the fear, the feelings. Crazy how our bodies responds mentally healing, but body aching. Yes. What is your zodiac sign? I don't prescribe to that at all. I don't even pay attention to it. If I saw it in front of me, I'd crumple it up and burn it. I cover my ears and walk out of rooms when people try to get into astrology. It's 100% not unacceptable to me. What is shadow work, and is there a book you recommend? Shadow work is based on a flawed psychological concept from a doctor, I forget his name, which is the belief that you are repressing your darker side, and we all have a darker side, and you need to embrace the darker side to heal. It has limited benefits because it's based on a flawed psychological concept. It's not true that we all have a dark side that we're repressing. That's not true of everyone. So you should not do shadow work. You should do light work. And the work that I have for you is based in the light. You go to my website, 12 Laws of Healing, 12 Laws of Healing Journal. That is the book I recommend for you. Or MIND. It stands for Mentally Identify Negative Distortions. It's a book also available on Amazon. Both of those books are available on Amazon. Roman Zanoni, just as my name is written, as the author. I absolutely recommend those books. They're way better than any type of shadow work journal. Way better. Give me an assignment so I can study. Get the 12 Laws journal. Start with chapter 1. Ethical, powerful, intelligent, compassionate, not compatible. Intelligent, compassionate. Ethical, powerful, intelligence, compassionate. STOP stands for stillness, thoughtfulness, observance, patience. Can we have our one-on-one to be on how to communicate vetting questions? Of course, yeah. Just tell me what we're talking about when we get there. Going through a divorce, how to rebuild my life with this. This is much more comfortable for me. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm sure it probably sounds like I'm trying to be a late night DJ or something, but I'm in a register right now where it doesn't hurt to talk as much. Thank you. Going through a divorce, how to rebuild my life within 16 months, or with my 16-month-old. I'm sorry that you're going through your divorce, but don't look at it as rebuilding your life. That's too extreme. You're still alive. Your life is not destroyed because you're going through a divorce. It's a transition to break away from a toxic person. Frame it as that. I've broke off from the toxic person now, and I'm going to rebrand instead of rebuild my life. It makes it sound like you're starting from the ashes, and it's really not like that. You need income. Get yourself income. Then you need shelter. Use your income to purchase a shelter. Just keep asking until you find a landlord that will rent to you, despite any credit issues or whatever else. There's someone. And then you need maybe assistance with childcare, I would imagine, with a 16-month-old. So focus on your needs. Get your income first. Make sure you have a bank account. Do you believe a woman can be completely happy without a partner? 100%. Yeah, let me make that very clear, guys. There's no necessity to have a romantic partner in order to be happy, man or woman. Absolutely, you can be happy without a romantic partner. I wish I could talk louder to emphasize that point, but I can't right now. Your guys' comments are unhinged sometimes. What is your definition of life and existence? Right, I probably would agree with the dictionary definition on those, so no need for me to be redundant. It's easy to really dislike the person once you do the devaluation list. If you're doing it right, it helps. What brought you to want to do what you do? I got discarded by an avoidant. She ghosted me, and I loved her. I was just head over heels, like 100% invested. We were a year together. I was 100% invested, like emotionally. I had this idea in my head that she was from God. So it was like, once I binded it to a religious, it was like just 100% faith. Like, there was nothing she could say to me that would shake my faith that we're just going to end up together. So she would be like, well, I don't know, blah, blah. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's all going to end great. We're still going to end up together. It's fine. So I had this idea like it was just from God. So eventually she couldn't take my unshaking love for her, as most avoidants cannot. And then she had to run. It's so funny. It's not funny, but it's funny now. But anyway, the heartbreak of that made me like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, whatever she had, I want to become an expert in it. I want to be able to heal that in the next person. And by the next person, I mean the thousands of people I've worked with since then. Then when you let emotions control, generally you shouldn't let your emotions control. Generally, you should always allow your emotions to speak to you, but then you should make decisions according to your cerebral cortex instead of allowing your emotions to control you. What are the main signs that an avoidant is healing and actually ready for repair and a relationship? I don't look for signs that an avoidant is healing and ready. When an avoidant no longer is acting according to fear and they do everything according to love, when they're able to be consistent over a long period of time, then they're no longer an avoidant. They'll be able to tell you, I'm not avoidant anymore. I'm now securely attached. That's how well healed they should be. And then you're good to go. How to deal with him promising marriage but not following through. Thank you for answering. Stop focusing on what he promised. His words are not reliable. Everything he said was a manipulation. If he was an avoidant, for instance, his manipulations were to make himself feel soothed from his fear. So don't think about lies. Why put your attention onto lies? Just say, oh, it was a lie. Oh, well. And get focused on devaluing him, investing in your purpose and self-care. My dismissive, avoidant, narcissist husband ghosted me for 20 days and then blocked me for my reaction. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully you didn't react. You should have just asked him when his birthday is. Oh my goodness. We should respect he's not into astrology. Yeah, let's do that. Let's respect that I'm just not into that. What are your thoughts on the 48 Laws of Power? Throw it in the trash. Robert Greene. Psh, stupid book. Oh my God. A book that's teaching you how to be a narcissist. Whoops. Throw it in the trash. 48 Laws of Power. They need to list 48 ways of getting your money back for wasting time on that stupid book. I can't believe how much people talk about that completely dumb book. Don't waste your time. A lot of charm survivors really like it because they're like, wow, it really taught me about power and manipulation. It's like, yeah, I guess if I can write a book on how to be evil, and I suppose it'll awaken some part in you, because trauma survivors need to learn to have a bigger, more robust ego. And so they never thought of these concepts. And I think that's why they find it so intriguing to learn how to think like a narcissist. Like, oh, wow. But don't learn it from that source. That's not a safe source. Learn from someone like myself who is balanced and is not going to just teach you evil concepts, but how to have a robust ego without losing empathy for people. That book doesn't protect your empathy. My DAX moved out and changed his number 3 weeks ago. I just want to heal on my own trauma now. Yeah, definitely enroll in my program. Get working with me. Yes, rebranding my life with God. It has been awesome. Yeah, that's the right perspective for sure. Amen about being happy. I did divorce recovery at church. It was amazing for my healing. I completely understand that. Thought if he was a believer, it was meant to be. Yeah, it was like we were aligned with everything. I'm like, man, this is... I mean, she literally... I had a vision of what I was looking for, and this girl was that vision. I'm just like, I believe. This was 100% sold. It's like, I believe. That's frightening, though. I mean, I can understand how it's frightening to another person for you to just be so convinced. And they're just like, why? And when they have low self-worth, they're like, why are you so convinced? Because I know you're from God, and it's all going to work out. It's going to be great. So, I made it work out into something different once she left. I'm glad you're able to laugh about the pain now. Yeah, it's all good. Why do I find it funny? I don't know, just how wrong we can be when we think we're right about a situation in life. I think that's kind of ironic, a little bit funny. One of the things that makes me able to laugh about it, and this is really important for your healing, is I made sure I followed the principle of making sure I have something to show for the time. Being able to sit here with this group of you guys and to be able to share and to teach the wisdom and to have the large platform that I've created, that was created in that time space from 4 years ago when she disappeared or attempted to disappear, and now I have something to show for the time. My entire lifestyle, I have something to show for the time. Right now, I live in a part of the world which is one of the biggest tourist destinations on planet Earth because it's like a paradise. I have something to show for the time. You understand? It's like I have what I want. This is my dream job. Like, this is the first time in my life I got to do exactly the counseling that I wanted to do. It wasn't just like, well, I'll take this job because it pays the bills, you know. So I've been counseling for 20 years, but now I'm actually I'm hitting the spot where it's like, yeah, this is me with the audience I really want to be working with. It's amazing how our greatest pain can become our greatest work in ministry. Exactly. And so that's what allows me to laugh. It's like, it's funny because I think about how much love, I actually still love this person, even though I've had multiple relationships. I love all of those women still. Like, I don't have any hatred or animosity toward any of them that I can remember or think of. I just love them all. Still, they don't qualify, you know? So it's like, and that's why I can laugh too. It's just like, there's a lot of love, but it's funny. It's like, we can't be together, but love you guys. If you're listening, love you guys. She left me. Why does she keep messaging me? I tried leaving her alone. Don't focus on why she does what she does. Focus on if she qualifies to be with you. It's an awful book. I agree. I read 10 pages, put it down immediately. Ladies, don't throw it in the trash. Read it because every man does. I love it. We get these people come in here and they just directly contradict me. Yeah, throw it in the trash. It's a waste of time. Use my book. 48 Laws of Narcissism. Yeah, it teaches manipulation. Yeah. I would say throw it out. But if you want to listen to that woman because all the men read it or something, go ahead. I don't care. She left me. ... Why does she keep messaging me? I tried leaving her alone. Yeah, don't focus on what she's doing and don't copy paste your messages. I thought about that. It's kind of wild. Some of the things to do. Thank you. Why is it when you give an unattractive man a chance, he does you wrong? Attractive men do you wrong too, honey. It's you're just more mad when it was an unattractive man because you go, hey, I didn't even need to give you a chance. That's all. When it's attractive man, you're like, I'm going to keep chasing. I'm going to keep trying, you know. So you're focusing on that aspect because that's the reason that's making you feel like that's why it's a big deal that he did you wrong. Men can do you wrong whether they're attractive or not. It's not the attractiveness that makes a difference. Amount of people that are in proformbalance is outrage. I don't know what that means. Vet while healing. I have a time crunch because I want marriage and children. Yes, vet while healing. Yes. But stay vetting. Don't fall for someone head over heels. What are proformers in relationships? I don't know what proformers are. That's a word I'm not familiar with. Excuse me, I'll try to look it up. You talking about you? I'm sorry, it's a slow process. Would you consider a partner who is not fully healed but working towards it? In my case, yeah, because I'm a healer, so it's like, that's not like a problem for me. It's like if you were a personal trainer and, you know what I mean, like you meet a woman that's not totally at her weight loss and fitness goals. Not a problem. I'm a personal trainer. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll get there. If you're working on it and your attitude is, I want to do this. Yeah. It's not a problem. Proformer. I'm in another country, so a bunch of stuff in another language came up, but it doesn't look like there's any such thing as a proformer. I'm sorry. It appears that you are not speaking English according to a professional person that performs skills and talents of his or her trade. All right. So let's go back and see that are pro formers. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Not a clue. Would you consider a partner? Yeah, I already answered that. Someone said Thailand. I'm not in Thailand at the moment, but I was just there, like literally, like a couple weeks ago. It was lit. With someone 40 years been trying to get out, have so much compassion. I stay. Kids are all I care now. That's not compassion. That's compassion. That's codependency. You're focused on loving someone else, but you're not focused on equally loving yourself. So you need to recognize, although I love these children, I also need to do what's best for me, because I'm nothing for the children if I'm not well. So should I really be staying for the children? Let me analyze my situation and make sure I'm showing myself love. Are you in Thailand? I'm not, but I was just there, and it's a good guess. I come from childhood trauma, empath. I feel people emotions. I know people tests. That's beautiful, Roman. Truly inspirational. I'm sorry that happened to you. You deserve better. It happens to everyone. That's the thing. That's the whole point, is that nobody is immune from it. There's also a creature in here somewhere. There are downsides to being in the jungle. I notice when I have unsolved emotions, my body either gets a headache or gut issues, must handle it. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely handle it. Use my tools, like the JAP method. Yes, I understand. Same thing. I still love my exes. Don't wish them harm. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, not everyone's like that. But I don't know. I just don't have any negative feelings towards anyone except for the narcissist, and even there, it's just indifference. Like, don't care. 100% don't care. Don't like them, don't want them, but not worried about them. Total indifference. I laugh about the dumb things I did and believe from them. Yeah, I think it's good to laugh. The crazy thing is, after leaving the Christian acts, I gained so much spiritual clarity from God. Man, there's a little. I don't want to tell you guys because I don't want to freak you guys out. I feel like it's gonna freak me out too. There's a little lizard, these little lizards, and they're like harmless, but if they get in your room or something, so this thing is just making noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I can hear it, but I can't see it. I think it's just like literally like a few feet away from me, hiding behind like a mirror on the wall. What about the book, The Way of the Superior Man? I think that one is about game. I don't know if I read that, but that's going to be a lot different because it's helping you to understand psychology of women and understand how to talk to them. That's a lot different than 48 Laws of Power, which was, in my opinion, a waste. Yeah, I love counseling, coaching, consulting people too. Yeah, it's what we got to do. We got to do it. The amount of people that are in my performance relationships, is what you're trying to say. Oh, I got you. I understand. Yeah, it's very common. I'm so depressed because he ghosts me and then comes back, and I allowed it. I don't know how to leave. You need to leave. You need to do your devaluation list. And you need to set boundaries so that you're not allowing him to come back. That creates a pattern of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm interested in the trauma specialist class you have. You gotta direct message me. Nothing I can do for you here in the middle of a group. Roman, you were so correct about the narcs being evil. Do I have stories? Yeah, I know I'm correct. Correct about connecting with people, still doing their personal work and healing. Vet wisely. Yep. In what country do you live at now? Sounded really nice. Yeah, I don't want to say it on live because I got enemies. How do I process them moving on less than a month after breakup? You shouldn't be focused on what they're doing. You don't know if they're moving on, and you don't know. Just say, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Just because I heard something, I saw a picture, doesn't mean I know anything. And don't focus on them. Focus on what you're doing. You can't control it, so you don't focus on it. It means you have no responsibility over it. Do narcissists change? By the way, your devaluation list is going to help with that. No, narcissists do not change. It's always gaslighting. I want to learn how to be okay with myself when I realize the pattern isn't going to work for me. You should always be okay with yourself. Always. So then it won't be difficult when a pattern isn't going to work. I love my mom, but she was abusive growing up. I don't blame her. I'm naturally avoidant now as an adult. Avoid your mom and stop avoiding other people. Just think about it. It doesn't make sense. My mom was terrible, so now I avoid everyone else. Avoid your mom. Don't avoid other people. I don't lean on her like a daughter should. Avoid her. What are you talking about? Don't lean on her at all. Have you considered podcasts to teach men with the red pill movement? No, I have not considered that. It's not my mission in life to teach men with the red pill movement. Yes, self-care, self-love is very important. Are you in blank? If so, can I meet you in person? Direct message me. Oh my gosh, yes, about the lizards, that it is distracting you. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, the little lizards. If you're in a hot climate, we had them in Florida too. I had one that got in my apartment. Little harmless lizard didn't do anything. It took me like a day and a half to catch him and get him out of there. Would you consider doing a live series on getting out of relationships with narcissists? Are you the one who's talking to me about podcast? Yeah, but to me it's like, okay, just leave. Like, what's the series? You know what I mean? like series done in 5 minutes. Leave. You're a narcissist. Like, what are we gonna talk about? Getting out of the. How do we do it? How do I do it? Leave. Doorknob. Turn it. Take a bag, go. Yet he still needs for me to call or believe he is a good guy. Yeah, go no contact. He's mating. Oh, you can hear it? Ew, don't tell me he's mating. That's gross. This is my hotel room. Yes, always love, forgive, take care of yourself. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, you'll be in Jacksonville. You get a little lizard. Those little buggers, you got to catch them. Especially if you come from an immigrant household, we're so conditioned to heal our relationships. Yeah, absolutely. Most families are run like a little mafia like that. It's not just an immigrant thing. With our parents as adults, especially our moms, yeah, don't try to heal your relationships with your mom or any adults. Recognize that it takes two people. If they're trying to heal and you're trying to heal, cool. But if they're not like coming to you trying to heal and you're not trying to, like, both got to want to do it. My husband is 22 years, moved in with his who, and yet he still wants me to give him credit to be in. Swampland over there, yeah. I know you say to continue avoiding, and my life feels better when I do so, but what if I end up... Yeah, avoid your mom. Don't avoid other people. My ex knows he's avoiding because of his childhood / mom. How do you tell him to distance himself from her? My ex knows he's avoiding because of his mom. You can't control what he does. This is getting annoying. I apologize. I don't know why. It's just cough city all of a sudden. Do you think good, nice men who are actually vile truly believe they are good? No, because they're actually vile. They know they're vile. My narc lied about using Crystal M at home. Kick out. Told him hope he lose his something soon.